Hello, super friends. I should be saying aloha, super friends, and welcome to the Sacred News and Weather Hawaii edition. I have this weird halo going on. I have been trying to play with the camera to get the lighting right so that you can see this beautiful background that I have and see me, and it's not working. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to just make sure that yes, my microphone is recording and not my headset. And you're just going to have to deal with my halo. I swear there are no filters on. I've got nothing weird happening. It's just the combination of the backlight and then the light coming in from my bedroom. The truck going by, you're going to hear some background noise. You're going to hear the roosters of Kauai, which have been waking me up every day at 3:30. Awesome or not. And I'm wearing my Hawaiian muumuu here for you, for all of us, as I deliver this message for you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for tolerating my halo and not the not the divine kind. Um, and thank you for putting up with my just audio message that I recorded the other day. A few of you came in and asked me how I was doing, and I'm fine. As I said, dawn broke and everything that I had to process was done. And I've been having an amazing trip here with my kids. We have a few more days. We leave on Monday, and tonight we have a luau. Today we're going to the beach. Right now they are watching, I believe, Pokemon, and tolerating their mama taking some time out to record this video. So with no further ado, I'm going to get started and get this message done for you. Um, I will say, like any message I deliver, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. These are timeless. So whether you're tuning in real time or catching this at a later date, you can trust that if you found it, this message is likely for you. But if you get going and you don't see yourself, hear yourself resonate, leave it behind, find something else to watch. There are plenty of options below, and you will find what's here for you, or tune into the next one, and maybe that next one will be for you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my notebook, and I'm going to lean back and close my eyes. So the first image that I saw when I got into meditation for our collective this morning was this like almost omniscient narrator view. It was almost as if we were flying, or I was flying and looking down on a vision for the collective. And it was, of course, a beautiful, lush, and tropical scene, not unlike the one that I'm in. But it kind of flashed through. So it's like I felt like I was catching glimpses of the dream lives that many of you are trying to call in. And it was like we were hovering above it, but we couldn't quite get to it. It's like we could see what it is that we're desiring, and it feels so like it's right there. It's just right there. I'm looking down on it. I'm looking at it, but I can't get to it. It's like I'm hovering above it. And then we switched angles, and I was suddenly like mired in the mud, looking up at it. So it was like this feeling of like, this is what I desire for myself up here in the upper realms. But here I am stuck in the mud, unable to bring the two together. And I feel like the energetic work really is to bring the vision for our dream lives, the vision for our highest timelines. Right, I need to adjust my position here, to bring the vision into embodiment, to bring us out of the mud in our day-to-day lives and into that place where we are creating, co-creating our reality with our vision. So there are a few things that come to mind when I feel into that feeling of I'm hovering above my dream life and I can't get to it. And here in actual 3D life, I'm stuck in the mud and I can't take the next step forward. What I see and feel in my body when I feel like, what does that feel like in my body to be able to understand how to bring it out into the world? It feels like that place. So if you can imagine, we have 7 energy centers in our bodies, whether you refer to them as chakras or sacraments or the 7 levels of the tree of life, which I know there are 10, but there are areas that have 2 and 2 and 2. So 7 levels of the tree of life as well. If you can imagine that the upper chakras, your crown, your third eye, your throat, and your heart are then connected to your lower chakras, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. And they're all connected, but the more etheric chakras are, of course, from the heart up. And the more embodied chakras are from the heart down, so, or solar plexus down. So there is a channel where we have our divinely inspired vision. So if you can imagine your ideas, that hovering vision of yourself, we're hovering above our lives, looking at this divinely appointed idea, this beautiful vision that we want to call in. It comes in, it's divinely inspired, it comes into our crown. And then we sort of roll it through our third eye, our sacred vision, uh, Bina and Chokmah Da'at for the tree of life. We run it through our sacred vision and we try and see it and we try and call it in and we get a beautiful picture of what it's going to look like. We bring it down into our throat chakra and we start talking about it to our friends, to our loved ones, like, yeah, what do you think? What do you think of this? What do you think? And we start talking it out and it starts to become more real, less etheric and a little more real and of the 3D. And we bring it down into our hearts and we're like, yes, I love this idea. I really want to bring it into fruition. But then to bring it into our bodies, to bring it into form, to allow it to be birthed out into the world, it has to go through the heart and into the solar plexus. It has to come from the etheric into the embodied. Now, energetically, when I'm doing energy work, when I'm visualizing this process, I see like a narrowing of the channel here. So it's like we have to like almost funnel the etheric idea through this narrow channel and into our bodies. And there's usually like a kind of feeling like, oh, it's shit's about to get real. It's about to get real here. If I bring this into form, it's about to get real. And so there's often like a here, which is, I think, what I'm feeling when I'm seeing us hovering above our idea and also feeling mired in the quagmire. Because if you think about it, when when it comes down, when we bring it into our bodies, when it gets a little stuck and it's hard for us to move it in, we are running it through like, can I actually make this happen? Can I make this idea come to life? Can I birth it out into the world? So it comes into our solar plexus and we start trying it on in form and it's a little uncomfortable. It was kind of more comfortable to hold it up here as an idea, as a beloved idea, as a divinely inspired idea, than to actually do the work that it takes here in our solar plexus, here in the I am place, in that, like, this is who I am, this is my work in the world. It's like we have to claim it. And it can sometimes get a little difficult. And then when we bring it down into the sacral and we start thinking about abundance, when we think about how much money it's going to cost, maybe like, what is this going to cost me? It becomes even sometimes even less of a possibility. And then when we bring it down into our root, that tribal place, that familial place, that place of like, what will my family say? It's like we end up like, oh, nope, like and sometimes it's such a hard nope that it's like, I might actually die if I bring this idea into form. And so the feeling that I have of us hovering and the feeling that I have of us stuck in the quagmire is we're all somewhere, and you can determine where you are with your beautiful vision for yourself. We're kind of stuck somewhere between thinking about it and feeling about it and believing like, oh, this is a wonderful idea, and that quagmire that this is going to cost too much, I can't do it, or if I do this, I'm going to be cut off from my family and I might actually die. And we're being invited to let go of those narratives that are keeping us in the place, that are keeping us in the I'm stuck place, that are keeping us like in the in between place. And I feel like the place that we want to concentrate our attention to really help bring it together is in that channel between the heart and the solar plexus. Now, I learned something really interesting. It was like the most like divinely appointed affirmation ever. A friend of mine, she is half Egyptian. I guess she's more of an acquaintance. I don't know her well, but we sit in some circles together. She traveled to Egypt recently, as she does often, but she took a boat tour up the Nile through all seven temples, seven chakras, seven temples, seven sacraments, seven, seven, seven. And each temple, as you go up the Nile, which goes from root to crown, the Nile flows from south to north, not north to south, which is very unique. You travel up the Nile from root to crown. And I was so taken by the fact that in the place between the heart and the solar plexus, between the heart temple, the temple of Hathor, Hathor, however you pronounce it, and the next temple whose name eludes me right now, there's actually a lock. There's a lock. So you're traveling up the Nile and you get to the heart chakra, you get to the temple, and then you have to wait. You have to wait for the water levels to rise if you're traveling from I believe if you're traveling from south to north, to the valley of the gods. You have to wait for the water to rise so that you can continue on your journey. And it can sometimes take days in your boat on the Nile to make that journey from the heart into the solar plexus, from one temple to the next. And on your way back, when you are going from the embodied to the etheric, you have to wait for the water to lower. Or, and I may be getting the directions of the water, the directionality of the water wrong, the rising or the lowering. But the important part, the rooster agrees. The beautiful part there is that what I have felt in our energetic bodies is actually true on the Nile River through the chakras, which is there's a narrowing of the channel and a weight that has to happen. And so knowing that feeling of hovering over our vision and the feeling of being in the quagmire here feels almost exactly right for where we are right now. So initially I thought, oh, like we have to bring it together. We have to bring it together. We have to bring our vision here so that we can create what we want in the world. And that's true. That is absolutely true. But I just want to affirm that weight and that rising up from the root and that coming down from the etheric and that moving through the channel is exactly what is supposed to be happening right now. There's a feeling of allowing ourselves to slow down, to wait, and to wait for the next aligned action to come to bring us up out of that quagmire, to bring us up out of the mud. The water needs to rise, to drop us down into our bodies, to bring us into flow. The water needs to lower so that we can get to the right place at the right time. And I think this is where we're getting caught up, which is in that need to control, control, control. Like, I need to know when, I need to know how, I need to know what the outcome will be. This is my desired outcome, and I need to know the exact right steps I need to take at the exact right time to bring me to this desired outcome. And instead, we're being asked to wait for the water to rise or drop, to bring us into the next channel, to bring us into the next place. And that's hard to do. What I saw, so the control-y piece, the like, I need to know, I need to do this exactly right, I need to have a plan, I need to do the thing. I saw the emperor in reverse, that sort of like the emperor in the upright, the emperor in his or her power. Remember, I don't speak genders, so divine masculine, divine feminine. The emperor card is usually a divine masculine, but we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energy in us, whether we are male or female or somewhere in between. We all have both. So it's that masculine energy in reverse. It's a little bit of that toxic, control-y, grabby, I must control, I must know, I must. It's really tight. In the upright, which is where we want to get to, it is that like benevolent ruler. It is the I trust, I'm aligned, I'm in the will of the divine and the will of my heart and the will of the people, and they are all balanced. And so we're trying to go from the emperor in reverse, that controlly, grabby place, to the emperor upright. And the way we're being invited to get there is using the energy of the hermit, which is to turn inward and shine your light out into the world, to shine the light of the divine inward, and see and feel and know what the next aligned step is for you. So for some of you, this means like reeling it in a little bit, reeling your energy in and coming back inward, maybe coming into solitude, coming into quiet, and surrendering into the arms of the divine, surrendering into your highest self, just surrendering control for a minute and inviting in trust, and then allowing that water to rise so that you can move down and through, or the water to lower so it can move up and out, whichever direction your flow needs to go. That feels like the way we are going to get to not flying above our vision or being stuck in the quagmire, but bringing it together here, embodied, and taking the next right action. And there's something to be said for, that wants to be said for, trusting the action, the aligned action, more than like that flying vision. And I don't exactly know where that's coming from in this moment, except to say that maybe there are some of you here in this collective who are deeply spiritual and deeply in touch with your higher vision. You're sort of living in the upper realms, you're living in that fifth dimension, the 5D, and you're having trouble bringing your desires into the 3D. I forgot to turn my phone off. I apologize. You might have heard that ding. You're having trouble bringing your more etheric action into the embodied 3D earthly realm. And again, you're being invited to come all the way down and through and trust the action that you're taking here more than the I am manifesting from up here and creating from up here, but I'm not actually taking the next aligned step. Now, that's not for all of you. Some of you are more in that earthly quagmire place, and you're like, I can't get to the vision because I'm stuck in the mud. But I feel like most of the folks who are watching my videos right now feel more, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I feel the need to speak to the people who are up here and thinking that they're manifesting their best life without taking those aligned actions or relying on what's actually happening in the 3D realm. I'm just going to be quiet to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. The same can be said if you're feeling mired in the quagmire and having trouble getting to that more etheric vision. The feeling there is allowing yourself to come up out of the mud and to lean back and to turn that light inward to see what wants to emerge. It's like letting go of the earthly steps, letting go of your to-do list, letting go of what you think you need to do, and being still and getting quiet and allowing the wisdom of the hermit. The wisdom of the hermit holds a lantern, and he in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is gray. Gray is wisdom. He is bringing your aligned vision through you, and he's shining a light toward your next action. And so surrendering to that wisdom rather than your own doing feels like that is what will bring you forth to the next right step rather than what you think your to-do list should be. Now, truly feel like we are complete here. So aloha. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you feel compelled, so called, I would really appreciate it if you would like and share and subscribe to this channel. The more you watch, the more you contribute, the more I pick up on your energy, and the more likely these messages will be for you. So there's something in it for you to like and share and subscribe. I will be home next week. I probably won't come in on Monday because I'll be traveling. I might come in one more time on Sunday from Hawaii before I go if I feel so inclined. If not, I will see you on Wednesday. And I think I'll have some offers for you to work with me. My kids are going back to school next week, so my schedule will be freeing up, and I have some offers that are coming out into the world that I can't wait to tell you about. But they are still being born in my website. So when I have something to officially offer you, I will start talking about it. All right. I love you all. Go forth and have a beautiful Friday or whatever day you're tuning in, and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.